What inspired you to keep up with your relaxed hair when all others join the natural hair movement? Thanks. Hey guys, welcome back to another video. I am Val if you are new to my channel, and today we're doing hair Q&A. Yes, last week I posted on my Instagram and my YouTube whether or not you guys want to have a quick Q&A, and you guys it was overwhelming. I got so many comments, so I won't be able to take up all of the questions today, but for sure I'll do a dedicated video of some sort or even a blog post. So without further ado, let's get started, and be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Let's do this. Okay, so the first question is, hi Sunshine, I followed you since the old hair care boards. Wow, that was years ago. What is your profession? What has made you thrive in this industry when everyone else, like some of the OGs, have fallen to the side or taken up other careers / interests? Thank you so much for your loyal support. My profession, so I'm in the finance field. So what has made me thrive in this industry? I definitely say hair care is a passion of mine. I've loved everything hair related since, oh my gosh, I want to say since high school. I'd always style my hair. I'd always focus on, just making sure my hair looked good. As my hair got a little bit more damaged, obviously I started my hair journey and just helping other ladies, researching, finding out how hair, reacts to certain products and stuff has been a passion of mine. So that's definitely, I think, what kept me going throughout the years. Okay, so next question is, how often do you use heat? Monthly? So I use heat every relaxer. So I relax every 3 months, so anywhere from 10 to 12 weeks. So I'll use heat during that time, but if there's like a special occasion of some sort, then I'll use it in between. All right, so how do you keep your scalp moisturized? What products do you use for that? So my scalp pretty much stays moisturized just by me washing and deep conditioning throughout the week. So I wash and deep condition once, and then I'll co-wash midweek. So that water intake really helps to keep my scalp moist. So right now I'm doing the castor oil challenge. It's taking place on my Instagram until January 5th, 2021. I'll put castor oil or Jamaican black castor oil in my scalp. I'll do that every other night. That's part of my scalp routine, just keeping my scalp moisturized. So if you are having issues with dry scalp, I would definitely suggest you wash and deep condition at least once a week. Having that water in your scalp will help to hydrate it. If you want, you can also put an oil in your scalp, just massage it in. Jojoba oil is probably the best oil because it mimics the sebum that naturally occurs in your scalp, so that would be great. And just massaging it in just to increase blood circulation. So I would suggest one of those two and see how that works out for you. All right, so the next question is, hi, I'm so glad for this Q&A session. Same here. I'm using the Olaplex 3 of the Olaplex line and I love it. Have you tried Olaplex 0 yet? And if so, do you think it's a must-have to use with 3? Please share your thoughts on Olaplex 0. So I haven't used the Olaplex 0 as yet, but you guys know I absolutely love and use the Olaplex 3. I use it in my relaxer routine. You guys have seen that in my relaxer day video. It's something that obviously is really good for relaxed hair because it helps to rebuild the bonds. And when it's used in conjunction with 3, it's even 10 times better. So I can't wait to try it, and I'll share my results with you guys. All right, so you have really inspired me to go on my relaxed journey. I was wondering, do you believe that washing your hair twice a week with shampoo and co-wash really helped you to retain length? If you stick to this routine, it didn't increase hair dryness. I used to wash and deep condition my hair twice a week. This was way back in the day, and my hair thrived, so I got a lot of growth from that regimen. But I did notice that there was some dryness going on, and mind you, I did use a sulfate-free shampoo. So once I noticed the dryness, I switched to deep conditioning midweek on dry hair and then co-washing afterwards, and that skyrocketed the moisture levels in my hair. So I kept with that. Yeah, it did really help in terms of increasing hair growth. My scalp was always clean. There was nothing to inhibit my growth, but I had to switch things up because the dryness. All right, so Rachel's saying, the right side of my hair grows longer than the left side. I've cut it blunt like 3 times, but it still grows longer than the left side. I pay more attention to the left side, sleep on the left side, but still. What do you recommend? Should I just let it grow out? So this is a common question, and I know a lot of ladies have this same issue. I actually experienced it myself when I first started my hair journey. My hair was at different lengths, and I want to say it's because it was damaged. But over time, sticking to my routine, being consistent, it definitely evened out. So not to say that your hair is damaged, but it could be a variety of issues. They say that it's a circulatory issue or a compressed circulation. So maybe sleeping on that side could obviously suppress some blood circulation. So you want to make sure you're stimulating your scalp, paying more attention to that side, applying more product. And it also could be the way you style your hair. Just look into that as well. Maybe, constantly combing the left side versus the right. If you feel to cut it off or just have it or maintain an even hemline in your ends, you can do that as well, and then hopefully you'll see a difference. Okay, so Besides Beauty says, why do you prefer to self-relax than to go to a salon professional for your relaxer? So relaxing at home has been more beneficial than going to a salon, and I say that because when I used to go to the salon, there was just so many issues. Number one being they charged me, I want to say $120 just to get a touch-up.
$120 just to get a touch-up.
Mind you, I'm only doing my roots, which made no sense, but the cost was one thing. My stylist would constantly rip through my hair with small fine teeth combs, plus having to always suggest, did you rinse out the neutralizer properly? Can you add more deep conditioner to my hair or something? And I'd always get pushed back, and you know what, I was just over it. It took time to obviously perfect the routine that we have now, but I wouldn't change it for the world. I can actually deep treat my hair. I can, neutralize to the point of, where I'm satisfied, and it's just been better. I've seen a huge difference in my hair since doing that. But of course, if you cannot self-relax, seek out a stylist who is all about healthy hair care practices and also takes your concerns into consideration. Any tips or product recommendations for relaxed girls trying to grow/maintain stronger edges? Love your channel, by the way. Thank you. In terms of growing your edges, try relaxing your edges last, of course. If not, every other relaxer. I've done that in the past and it's been amazing. I think I'm gonna actually go back to doing that. Also, massaging your edges. You could use castor oil, any oil of your choice, really. You can also add in like essential oil to help increase that blood circulation. So peppermint oil is amazing for that. Just being gentle with your edges. So you're not gonna wanna brush it constantly. Be mindful of the ponytails and the buns that you do wear. Make sure it's not pulling on your edges. I would also say cover your hair at night with a satin scarf, satin bonnet, or even a satin pillowcase. All three or one of the three is really good for your edges and keeping it intact, and of course ensuring that it grows. All right, so next question is, I'm alone, so I have no one to help me do the back of my hair. In your case, you have your sister. Any advice? What inspired you to keep up with your relaxed hair when all others join the natural hair movement? Thanks. Okay, so if you are willing to self-relax at home and you're confident, try it. If not, I wouldn't suggest it. Definitely go to a professional. But if you are looking to do things at home and do it yourself, I would say first do a mock trial. So use conditioner instead of relaxer and just apply it to your roots, pre-part it if that works for you, and just apply it. Time yourself and see if you're able to stay within the time frame that works for your hair and see how that goes. But if you're not confident, if you don't feel that you can do it at home, seek a professional for sure. So what inspired me to stay relaxed? I love relaxed hair. Anything relaxer related is just my passion. So I never felt inclined to go to the natural side. I know my hair, I know my lifestyle. Relaxed hair suits me best, and it's not to say that I'll never go natural, but for now I'm loving my relaxed hair. Okay, so next question is, are you the only relaxed girl in the family? Thanks. So in my family, my mom is relaxed. Her hair is about shoulder length or so. It's just us two. All my sisters are natural, so kind of lonely, but I have you guys. But yeah, it's just me and my mom. Okay, so Jazz is asking, I know you self-relax, but what are your tips on finding a good stylist? Okay, so this is a really good question. If you can get a referral, that would be the best thing. That way you can speak to someone that's actually been to that salon and has worked with, that stylist that did their hair. You can ask questions, you can see their work, etc. But if you can't, look up at least 3 stylists in your local area. Don't be afraid to interview them. Ask them if they're all about healthy hair care practices. And by that, I mean, do they apply the relaxer to your roots only? What kind of relaxers do they use? Do they neutralize your hair properly? Do they deep condition as part of the services? So just keep those things in mind. I would also say if they have like an Instagram or, some kind of social media, you can see their work, or a Facebook, for example, you can see the kind of work that they've done, just so you can get a better feel and you'll feel more comfortable going there. I would also suggest, you coating your hair prior to going, just in case they do overlap, your hair is protected as well. If they don't neutralize properly, go home, girl, neutralize your hair right away. Oh, also, I remember a stylist raking through my hair with a fine tooth comb. Ask them if they use a wide tooth comb when going through your knots, tangles, starting from the ends all the way up. But those tips should definitely help you. Don't be afraid to ask questions. I know some stylists tend to be a bit, a little standoffish, and they're just like, I've been in the profession for 20 years. I'm a professional. Don't ask me nothing. So the pushback is real, but ask them. And if they're a really good stylist, they will definitely communicate and be open to talking to you about your hair because you're spending your money. So yeah, hopefully that helps. Okay, so Justine is asking, how do you correct under-processed hair? So the best way to correct under-processed hair is to re-relax the under-processed areas. It's always best to do it 6 to 8 weeks after that relaxer, so you don't want to do it sooner than that, and just go over those under-processed areas, but seek a professional if you're not comfortable doing it. Hi, first and foremost, I absolutely love your videos, and my hair has been doing great since I incorporated your tips. Recently, I've tried sealing my hair with coconut oil after moisturizing it. My hair definitely hates this oil because it's dry and it breaks at times after I use it. What other oils do you recommend that are great as coconut oil? So coconut oil is very tricky because it solidifies in cooler temperatures. So if you leave it on your hair as a sealant and say you're in a country that has 4 seasons like Canada where I live, it's not good. It can really kind of induce breakage if you're not careful. So ditch the coconut oil. Try olive oil is an awesome sealant. It really helps to increase the elasticity in the hair. Jojoba oil is great as well. I use that, love it. I've been using it for years. It works wonders. It really helps to trap in the moisture. Sweet almond oil, grapeseed oil, there's tons out there. So, or even apricot oil is awesome. So those are really help to seal in the moisture. Be sure to do your research. Coconut oil can be a little finicky at times, and I know some people, or a lot of people, actually don't like it as a sealant. I like to use it in the deep conditioning phase. That way I don't really feel the effects of it. So just keep that in mind, but there's so many other oils to try that will really help to lock in moisture and make your hair feel good and retain length. Okay, so the next question is, what lip color and eyeshadow do you use? It looks so pretty on you. Thank you. Okay, so this lip that I have on right now is NYX Soft Matte lipstick in the color Dubai. Love it. It's a staple. I always get compliments every time I wear this. And I lined it with Cork from MAC and Chestnut from MAC as well. In terms of eyeshadow, I don't wear eyeshadow, guys. I don't have time for that. Right now I'm using just bronzer. So this is the Morphe Glamabronze bronzer in Trailblazer. Okay, so Casey says, new subscriber, hey girl. If you work out daily, weekly, how do you style your hair to keep it protected? Just a regular ponytail or high bun? Do you ever have dry scalp in the past? And if so, what would you recommend to treat it? Do you generally finger comb your hair and use a wide tooth comb, or do you use a hairbrush sometimes? Okay, so there's quite a bit here. Okay, so in terms of working out, I would just throw my hair up in a bun, a messy bun if that. My scalp is pretty much well behaved. I don't really have any issues, but as I mentioned before, some tips to kind of help alleviate the dryness. So increasing your wash days, ensuring that you're, you know, massaging your scalp with a nice hydrating oil or moisturizing oil. So castor oil is really good. Jojoba oil is awesome as well. So I love to finger comb. You guys have seen me do this in all of my videos, but I do use a wide tooth comb more so on wash day. If it's not a wash day, I'll rake through my hair lightly with the wide tooth comb. So for brushes, I use a 100% boar bristle brush, and I'll use that sparingly when I'm trying to do like a high bun or a low bun, but fingers first before anything, and then a wide tooth comb afterwards. Did you do a protein treatment on the first wash day after a relaxer? You guys know relaxers strip the protein from the hair, and it's really important to incorporate that protein back in. But for me, I always go right into my regular wash day routine a week after a relaxer. So I'll do my light protein. You guys know I use Apogee 2-minute reconstructor, and then I follow up with a moisturizing deep conditioner. But yes, to answer your question, always use a protein treatment after you relax, whether it be a few days after or a week after. Do you take biotin or any hair growth vitamins? So I don't take biotin. I have in the past, and I did notice some breakouts in my face when taking it. So I'm like, okay, you know what? This is not working. And I wasn't really consistent with it anyway, so I just let it be. But in terms of hair growth vitamins, I have tried some in the past, and I just stick to my multivitamin, my one a day. I use the Dr. Tobias vitamins. I love it. It works for me. But I have seen some ladies get really good results from taking biotin, and the hair, skin, and nails, the gummies that you see everywhere, that I've seen. So postpartum hair care, how do you prevent shedding? Okay, so I get this question a lot, and I know it's difficult. It's hard for us moms, but there's no real way to actually stop the shedding because it's a hormonal thing. You kind of just have to let it run its course. For me, I started shedding around the 9-month mark with my son, my firstborn, and then with my daughter, I noticed it 2 years later. So when I stopped breastfeeding. So it's hard. I know all that hair that you grow during your pregnancy, you lose it. It's just life. But there are ways to help slow it down. I would definitely say maintain a healthy, balanced diet. So by that, I mean getting your protein intake, getting your iron. That's so important for preventing, decreasing shedding. Your calcium, your water intake. Try to get enough rest. I know it's hard, but sleep when the baby is sleeping. Take your postnatal vitamins. Black tea rinses are another good method or technique to implement. I have a tutorial on my blog as to how to do that. Very easy, but black tea rinses really help to decrease the shedding. I did that and it worked for me. Maintaining your weekly hair regimens. So washing, deep conditioning, moisturizing it, just keep it protected will definitely help. Okay, so if you're working out 5 days a week, that's a lot of sweat. So obviously you can't shampoo or co-wash on a daily basis. That's a lot of manipulation and your hair is constantly gonna be wet and that will throw off your moisture protein balance. So I would say if you can, get a cloth, if you can just slightly pat your hair so it's nice and dry, and then follow up with like a blow dryer on cool air and just blow dry your roots so they're nice and dry. If you're not washing on a weekly basis, you may want to implement that as well, or even co-washing too. That would help. The main thing is not having the sweat stay on your scalp because sweat has salt, and if you leave that on, it can cause dryness. So you definitely want to remove the sweat. The best way to do that, maybe blow dry on cool air, throw it into a bun, just tie it with a scarf, and hopefully that will make your hair nice and smooth and straight. So hopefully that answered your question. Okay, so next question. Good day, my inspiration. I would like to know exactly how often should someone do a protein treatment? Okay, so this is a common question I get as well, and protein can be a little tricky, and I find a lot of people get confused when it comes to moisture protein balance. So a good way to tell if you need protein is to take a shed strand of hair and to tug it. So pull it gently. If your hair is stretching and stretching and stretching and it just feels really mushy, limp, gummy, that's an indicator that you need protein. So how often you should be doing protein, that really depends on your hair. I would say at minimum once a month. I've done protein weekly and bi-weekly and my hair has been thriving with it. It all depends on how my hair feels, but having a consistent protein conditioning session while being relaxed is so vital, because you guys know obviously protein is stripped from the relaxed strands. So really incorporating it back into your regimen, back into your strands is key. Do what works for you, find your rhythm, see how often your hair can tolerate protein, and it typically should be in the conditioning phase. I know some people like to use protein moisturizers, protein leave-ins, but when you do leave it on the hair, it can tend to make your hair feel rough, dry, brittle. I would shy away from that. Use it in the conditioning phase. That way you can always soften it up back with like a moisturizing DC. All right guys, so that's it for today. I will definitely do a part 2, so stay tuned for that. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give me a thumbs up, comment down below. Any other questions you guys have for me, let me know down there. We'll continue this conversation. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.